All right, we're here for another video on the previous Chelsea match and upcoming Chelsea match. We're doing things a little different this week. I'm going to talk about the Chelsea matches on my own, and Steve the Man Jones will talk about Liverpool matches in a separate video. So this one, just to start with, we're going to go over the Manchester United versus Chelsea match briefly. I've got three key takeaways. Um, just for a little bit of historical perspective, last year at Stamford Bridge, we had this really close match with them in the second half of the season where it was 3-2 for Manchester United after a crazy kind of back and forth match, and then Cole Palmer scored two late goals to win the match for us, 4-3. Dramatic, a lot of people's favorite match of the season last year for Chelsea. So there was that kind of that holdover. They had the issue of Ten Hag leaving and Van Nistelrooy coming in. Manchester United had a great midweek match with Van Nistelrooy, and just players were playing more free. Players were playing better, faster, more free, more positive, more aggressive. The commentator on the match I was watching at one point said, I don't know if I'm projecting this or imagining it, but it seems like they're playing more open and more free now. I had the same feeling before he said that. But my three big takeaways. So one is that Manchester United made it a fight. Chelsea likes to play football. They have extremely talented players. They love to move fast up the field. Maresca's even talked about this. It's not necessarily his preference, but the players just lean toward that. Maybe partly from playing with Poch last year, but they love to fly up the field, move quickly around from defense to attack in general. And I don't know if this was conscious or not, but Manchester United really made it a fight, really disrupted that a lot, got very physical. We have a few guys on the Chelsea team who they like a fight a little bit too much, you might say, and they get drawn into that. So I think that doesn't really help, but also just disrupts our play. Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Madueke, the flow of our match. And I felt like it just turned into a messy, ugly match without the quality you expect from our team. So I think Manchester United, whether consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, achieved a lot with that, and that's part of the reason why I ended up a draw. Neto, a lot of people love Neto, and some people would not like this take, but I find him frustrating because he takes too many touches. He holds onto the ball a little too long often, slows down the play, disrupts the flow of play, and doesn't get the pass off to someone when he should, where he should. And I understand he brings a lot with his pace, his speed. He had the great goal the week before, and he does bring a lot in a fight and just effort and some quality. But I just feel like he disrupts the flow that we were building, and Sancho did better to keep the flow going, to work within the flow, keep it smooth. Of course, he couldn't play anyway that last weekend, but yeah. So I'm a bit frustrated. I'm not really happy with him starting. I don't really think Maresca is giving him this feedback. I haven't seen any sign of it, at least, or I'm not sure if I don't really see players also getting upset at him for this. So it might be part of the game plan, but I just don't like it. And we already have Madueke sort of doing that on the other side. So I feel like we need a different option, and I'd rather Neto not be the default starter, but it looks like that's the case right now. So I don't know. That's a frustration of mine. I know he's trying to prove himself, become a main starter, score goals, but you got to play team ball, and I feel like he just doesn't do that enough. So that's my second point, my down point. Caicedo, absolute monster. I think he's best in the league at his position. He's a destroyer. He wins so many balls. He reads what the other team is doing and disrupts it. Gets the ball back for us. He's also put a little bit of a playmaker at times. Has good passing, and just overall an enormously wonderful, excellent package. He doesn't get nearly the praise he deserves. That role doesn't generally anyway, but he's not getting it. And it was great to see that he had this amazing, brilliant goal to tie the game for us. It was huge for us, and people respond in respect to goals. more than anything else in football. So it's just it's big for him to get more props. But it was just an enormous goal at an enormous time, and we didn't have anything else going on. Our attack wasn't really working. So a huge props and huge thanks to Caicedo for again basically being our man of the match. And some people argue he's the best player of the season for Chelsea, despite Palmer leading the league in the goals plus assists and just being the genius he is. I don't really. I think we need Caicedo. We need Palmer. They both are so crucial, so critical, such talented, top tier players. I'm not a big fan of comparing who's better because they play different roles. But yeah, that's it for that match. Going into it, we have potentially even bigger match this weekend. Chelsea versus Arsenal. This is a huge one in a lot of respects. Arsenal is a title challenger. Chelsea doesn't have a chance, but we're even on points going into this, and Chelsea's in fourth, Arsenal in fifth, because we have a better goal differential, 8 versus 6. No one's still going to consider us, being in the race, but they still consider Arsenal in the race, even though we have the same points. And I mean, a lot of people have said this is nothing new. If Arsenal loses or even draws, this could be the end of their title challenge. They've gotten themselves into a big hole. If Chelsea wins, no one's going to be talking about them being title challengers, ironically. But I'm feeling a little bullish. I feel like people by the end of the season are going to have their eyes opened a bit wider about Chelsea. We're a very inexperienced team, youngest in the league, fourth youngest ever, and we have struggled with immaturity and experience, getting the gelling together, knowing how to manage games, but we're improving. You know what young people do? They improve fast, and these guys are talented, and I think they are going to get better and better, and get over some of the immaturity and experience they've had where they haven't really performed that well against, especially some of the bigger teams. And I think we're gonna come for Arsenal. This is a London rival. We're even on points. Everyone's talking about Arsenal being title challengers, not us. We're going to come for them. And we've got the defensive side, it makes me nervous because we can just make a mistake here or there, various defenders and the goalie, and there's a risk there. But yeah, we'll see. So Arsenal has Odegaard coming back, which is huge for them. Of course, this is their big missing cog, a big missing player this season, and I assume he will start because he came in late in the Champions League game. This is a potential challenge for us because it's their key player, and he will be eager to get things going again. Everybody will be excited he's back. On the flip side, he could be rusty. He could be a little out of sync with other players, could be just not quite ready. And if we can, really bring it to them and really target that as potentially a weak area to attack, to go through, maybe we'll get a lot out of that. We also, you have Gabriel and Saliba, supposed to be the best defense in the league. Technically, Liverpool is with only 6 goals against versus Arsenal having 11. Forest is second with 7, showing why they're in third. But, the defense is great. It's a great defense. I'm not going to discount it. But this is sort of this is where the battle is going to be. How much can our talented attacking players, Jackson, Palmer, maybe Neto, who I just talked about, Madueke, maybe Nkunku, João Felix, Mudryk, maybe Enzo Fernandez, how much can they bring into this and break through to score on Arsenal? This is the big question. It's gonna be really potentially the biggest, maybe we'll say the second biggest attacking challenge for them this year. Liverpool, of course, put up a humongous challenge. Jackson got one chance and scored it. Tremendous way to get something out of that. But as far as scoring a goal, not as far as getting any points. But this is going to be, how much have we learned from that? How much can we improve from that? How much are we going to find a way through or around the big beast of the Arsenal defense? And I think this is the key to the match. This and whether obviously it's about goals, but this and whether we can hold strong defensively and keep Arsenal's attack stifled, which it has been. Arsenal's not on a great period, not doing very well right now, and I think it's key for us to take advantage of that and put ourselves 3 points above Arsenal and end their title challenge, potentially, make us a more serious consideration or give us a better chance at finishing top 4. I don't really know if there's any specific players I want to highlight or pull out for this, but on their side, I would say Havertz is one, because Havertz and it left Chelsea in a very bad mood and with a bad reputation, sort of. And yeah, I mean, with a bad reputation and a bad mood. I think he's going to want to prove something, but I think we'll have him under lock. And he did injure his head in the Champions League match midweek. We'll see if that is fine now. But I think we're gonna have him on lock, have him locked down. Saka is a risk, but I trust Cucurella to shut him down. Cucurella is underrated massively and great. Of course, Saka can always have one moment of brilliance, and that's enough, as we saw against Liverpool. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like it's a 2-0 win, which is over-optimistic and overconfident. It could be a draw. They could beat us, of course. I feel like maybe more pragmatically I should say 2-1, but I'm going to go bullish and say we win 2-0. We end Arsenal's title challenge, and we make ourselves we put ourselves in a better position to potentially keep improving and raising eyebrows and eyelids throughout the year until we come for Liverpool and take them down. But I'll leave Liverpool discussion to Steve the Man Jones, and he will be on with his own video about Liverpool's match last week and coming match against Aston Villa, which is obviously also a huge one for this position, this area of the table where not Liverpool, but where the rest of us are sort of sitting, where Chelsea, Arsenal, and Villa all have 18 points. And then there's Tottenham and Brighton with 16. Forest with 19. So, it's a big weekend for this area of the table. Yeah, we'll see what Steve has to bring, but I'm hoping Aston Villa can get a little lucky and bring them down a notch. And that would keep us maybe tight with Villa, but would bring Liverpool within reach of some blue disruption in London, where we will, of course, play our second match of the season against Liverpool.